Welcome to the West Wing Week, your guide to everything that's happening at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. This week, the President continued to call on Congress to pass the American Jobs Act, welcomed a new chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, spoke at the Human Rights Campaign annual dinner, hosted a cabinet meeting, traveled to Texas, and convened a televised news conference. That's September 30th to October 6th, or Why is that White House pink? On Friday, the President attended a change of office ceremony for the Office of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, honoring Admiral Mike Mullen and welcoming his replacement, General Martin Dempsey, replete with a 19-gun salute, fife and drum, formations, colors, flags, military bands, and a 4-plane joint service flyover.
Today, thanks to Mike's principled leadership, our military draws its strength from more members of our American family. Soon, women will report for duty on our submarines. And patriotic service members who are gay and lesbian no longer have to lie about who they are to serve the country that they love. History will record that the tipping point towards this progress came when the 17th chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff went before Congress and told the nation that it was the right thing to do. Mike, your legacy will endure in a military that is stronger, but also in a nation that is more just.
On Saturday evening, the President donned his black tie to address the 15th annual Human Rights Campaign National Dinner. Here, he stressed his administration's continuing commitment to the cause of equality for all Americans.
Many question whether we'd succeed in repealing Don't Ask, Don't Tell. With the help of HRC, we got it done, and Don't Ask, Don't Tell is history. And all over the world, there are men and women serving this country just as they always have, with honor and courage and discipline and valor.
On Monday, October 3rd, the President called a cabinet meeting to direct his secretaries and their agencies to act where Congress hasn't in addressing the nation's most urgent issue of putting Americans back to work.
It's been several weeks now since I sent up the American Jobs Act, and as I've been saying on the road, I want it back. I'm ready to sign it.
Later, the President welcomed the 3 winners from the first annual Google Global Science Fair, an international competition showcasing over 10,000 students from 91 countries. The 3 winners were all young women from America, and each brought her trophy made of Legos.
Good luck. Change the world. Thank you.
As the sun went down on Monday evening, the White House was lit in pink to mark Breast Cancer Awareness Month. On Tuesday, the President traveled to Mesquite, Texas, and visited Eastfield College to speak on the American Jobs Act. While there, he toured the campus's Children's Laboratory School and met with students and teachers.
You've got a book about Bo. You know about Bo?
Bo's my dog. I guess this is a picture of me. What do you think? Does it look like me?
The President then delivered remarks urging Congress to pass the American Jobs Act now.
Look, I'm not telling you anything you don't know. Do you really think the tax code is written for you? Maybe you've got a bunch of lobbyists in Washington. Maybe you've got a bunch of special interests in there in the back rooms trying to carve something out. I don't know. But most folks don't. So the tax code, the way it's structured, is not fair. Warren Buffett's secretary shouldn't pay a higher tax rate than Warren Buffett. So the next time you hear one of those Republicans in Congress accusing you of class warfare, you just tell them, I'm with Ronald Reagan. I agree with Ronald Reagan that it's crazy that a bus driver pays a higher tax rate than a millionaire because of some loophole in the tax code.
On Wednesday, the President welcomed President Lobo of Honduras to the White House to discuss a broad range of bilateral and regional economic and security issues during their Oval Office meeting.
What we've been seeing is a restoration of democratic practices and a commitment to reconciliation that gives us great hope.
Later, the President welcomed leaders of the Boys and Girls Club of America to the White House, where they got to see a copy of the Emancipation Proclamation that's framed on the wall of the Oval Office.
Mr. President.
On Thursday, the President gave a news conference in the East Room of the White House, once again urging Congress to pass the bipartisan paid-for ideas for creating jobs right away that are included in the American Jobs Act.
We've got an emergency.
And the American people are living that emergency out every single day, and they have been for a long time. They are working really hard, and if they're not on the job, then they're working really hard to find a job. They are struggling. If Congress does nothing, then it's not a matter of me running against them. I think the American people will run them out of town.
Later, the president continued the tradition of honoring sports champions at the White House by welcoming the Texas A&M University Lady Aggies, the NCAA women's basketball champions, at a ceremony in the Rose Garden.
That's the kind of focus and the kind of discipline that makes these players such good role models for so many young women, including my daughters Malia and Sasha.
Earlier that day, the Lady Aggies held a clinic for kids on the White House basketball court, while just outside the court, the USA women's soccer team held a soccer clinic for local school children. To find out more information on any of these topics, or to see complete videos of these events, go to whitehouse.gov. And thanks again for checking out your West Wing Week.